if people do want to know the origin of the virus in detail, and the truth is we may or may not ever know. The reality with Ebola is they surmise it comes from bats, but what the intermediate species is, they don't know. With SARS, kind of the opposite situation where they figured out the intermediate species relatively early, but it took 14 years to figure out the bat origin of SARS. So it first of all can take a long time, but second of all, you want samples collected and things studied as quickly as you can, because often this intermediate species dies out and then there's no evidence, right? So all of this time spent on it and how this has become a political hot potato in China has made it less likely that we're going to find out the origins. It would be useful to find out the origins because it's going to help us better understand the pathway that the next such pathogen might take. But it's not the only thing. We've got to be just looking much more broadly at these coronaviruses, where they're emerging, where the risk is. This has deflected attention from the wild meat and fur industry in China, which really has some biosafety concerns, and we really should be talking about that and looking at it. So that's another area that should be worked on. And then we have this immediate need to vaccinate the world. The US is not producing enough vaccine to do it ourselves. We've said we're partnering with India, even with the vaccine, if India can actually supply it, and that's not clear because of domestic demand. But even if they supply what's promised, that only gets you to another 500 million people because they've said 1 billion doses. We have 7.8 billion people in the world to vaccinate. We're going to need Chinese vaccine, and it makes far more sense to work collaboratively to study where it's most effective, how it's most effective, to do more research on whether using 2 different vaccines works better, all this kind of stuff, to make sure that we're getting as much of the world vaccinated as quickly as possible, because we don't get back to normal until everyone gets back to normal.